my goal for today's conversation, today's episode is just to give you a new level of awareness, right? Because without awareness, we don't have a choice to make change. And most of the time we're not problem aware. And that's why the importance of having a circle and having people around you to have tight feedback loops, to be able to shine the light on our blind spots, because that's really what it is, right? We all have blind spots, and we're running so fast that we don't tend to see the things that we don't see. And, as a great leader, we want to develop the capabilities of being able to, see, the tree, but also be able to see the forest. So we've got to be able to zoom in and zoom out. And it takes feedback loops. It takes help to reveal what we don't see, because what we reveal, we can heal. And no matter what, if your business is not where you want it to be, it's because your leadership capabilities are not where they want to be. I really believe that, the size of your business is elastic to the size of your leadership capabilities. And really where it all starts with is it starts with ourselves. And so that's the goal. That's the intent. If not, we'll get you strutting into the octagon, like Connor, which hopefully we'll get to see him soon, strutting in and no matter what. I don't know why. I just think that slide's funny. All right. So give you guys a little context. If you haven't been tuning into our Expert Mentor series or have had an opportunity to connect with me, man, I'm a coach's kid. It's in kind of my DNA, how I grew up, and really who I am at my core. And it's just something to be said when a kid that's just exposed to that environment and get the exposure of being able to see, the impact of what, a human in a coaching environment can have on another human, and being able to experience that. And then being able to be in that role myself, and then obviously transforming into, the leadership capabilities and then into coaching over the last decade has been able to just be a complete honor. And, this is really where it starts. Just believe that, for your business to be better, you have to be better. I believe that we cannot lead and coach another human unless we can lead and coach ourselves first. Believe that there's just a code and sequence to unlocking anything in our lives. And I believe everyone on the planet needs a great coach in their life. And, with a great coach in your life, I promise you, your life will be better. For me, this is it, right? My contribution is that I love to inspire and challenge people to think bigger. I believe that one of the biggest constraints that we all have in our lives is the constraint around our thinking. And so that the fulfillment that I'm given, the impact is the transformation of business and transformation of lives. It's why I do what I do day in and day out, and I love it. It's fun. And, there's never any external motivation to want to come from a place and just add value. College dropout. Did my college time in California working at a semi-private golf resort where my aunt got me in, and really had an incredible boss who took me under her wing and really taught me all dynamics of business. And got sucked back into Oklahoma with a high school buddy and just serial entrepreneur to be able to take ideas to execution, to profitability, to sold. So it was cool. In about a 3.5-4 year stint, we went through 4 different ideas into businesses and landed us owning a bar, which was one of, it was a green light. I'll put it that way. You know Matthew McConaughey's book, Green Light, because that led me to Kinder in 2004. And over the past 18 years, just been able to be a part of, growing and scaling 2 separate 7-figure real estate businesses, over 4,300 total transactions. Personally, I've had the opportunity to work with thousands of real estate professionals, little over 13,500 one-on-one sessions. So you learn a lot. I share that because of a unique perspective, that being able to have 4,300 transactions in two different markets, as well as, that many one-on-one coaching conversations. There's not a situation or something that I have not encountered, either personally or being able to coach somebody through. and just have had an absolute honor to work with some of the best in the industry, and hundreds and hundreds of others. So here's what's on the agenda. Here's what we're going to dive in through today, in today's conversation. What is leadership? There's different styles and elements, why we have to focus on leading ourselves, and then give you a concept, mental model of the plus, minus, and equal. And after the presentation, I want you guys to hang in. I've got an assessment that we've put together that is really eye-opening to see where you have a deficit or a surplus in your business, kind of around our accelerated growth model, and 8 key factors that we've identified to see kind of what's either holding you back or where you need to, pour more into or give something some more attention. So hang in at the end of this conversation. I'll give you guys the URL to go take that assessment. And I think it'll be extremely eye-opening and very valuable tool for you moving into the rest of this year. Jim Collins, in his all of his work, and I get asked, hey, what's one of the best leadership books? I said, well, one of my top book recommendations, if you're looking to build anything worth building, is his book Beyond Entrepreneurship 2.0. The original was written in the early 90s, and he revisited the book because there were some things missing, and he released it at the end of 2020, BE 2.0, and he layered in one of the most critical things that Steve Jobs gave him feedback that was missing, and it was around people. So in the original book, the number 1 chapter is leadership. In the updated version, it's the second chapter. First chapter is people. Second chapter is leadership. And I believe this. It's the barrier to greatness in many companies is just ineffective or no leadership at all. So what is leadership? So leadership is both a research area and a practical skill regarding the ability of an individual or organization to lead or guide other individuals, teams, or entire organizations. The word that is bold that I want to draw your attention to is skill. And remember, anything that is a skill can be developed, right? We can develop a capability. We can develop these skills. And so when people, tend to say, man, I'm not a great leader, 2 things that come to mind. One, you haven't made the commitment to develop the skills to become a good leader, to become a great leader. And you'll never accomplish anything the more that we keep saying, I'm not good at this. This is not, who, I suck at this. I'm terrible at this. Well, no shit. You will always suck at it, because what we say, we hear, and what we hear slips into our subconscious, and from the subconscious, then that turns into kind of the story that's playing in our head, the contamination, the limiting beliefs, the things that we latch onto. And so don't ever allow yourself to throw out the words. Don't ever vocalize something you suck at. And remember, most of the time, everything is a skill. We just haven't committed the time to improve and develop that skill set. When you look at the functions of leadership, and you look at breaking down an organization, you have functions, you have roles, you have key metrics they're responsible for to drive results in whatever that is. Well, leadership as a function, and for most of you guys listening in, if you're leading an organization, you're leading a company, your number 1 responsibility as a leader is to have a clear and shared vision for the company. Okay. You got to have it, but you got to also be able to articulate it. And then you got to be able to get commitment to. And if you're not going to get anybody else to commit to it unless you can commit to it first. And this is just kind of the requirement of leadership. No matter your style, you have to perform this function. And so we get into, okay, well, what are the styles of leadership? Everybody's leadership style is different. So when you look at the 4 different types, the first one is selfish. right? It's a selfish leader. This is for me, right? I'm only doing this because of me. I'm winning because of me. Nobody else, just me. I'm being selfish. Now, that doesn't mean it's good, bad, wrong, indifferent. It's just a style, right? It's just a leadership style. Certain people respond to it, certain people don't. So leadership, selfish leadership. 2 is barter, right? You can also go back to selfish as from Adam Grant's work, give and take, right? You got givers and takers. Selfish leaders are takers. They just take. That's all they do. And then you get into the barter leadership. I'll do this for you as long as you do this for me. And we know those type of people. We encounter them probably on a daily basis. And actually, we've probably been guilty of this ourselves. Hey, yeah, I'd love to do that, but I need you to do this for me in return. Okay. So there's a little bit of barter going on. Like I said, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. And that kind of falls in the middle of the give and take. And then the 3rd style is selfless. Man, these are just givers. They just give, and pour into people. And that's where the giver side of things come from, right? Really selfless in their leadership style, their leadership capabilities. And then the 4th is what we all should be striving towards. And that's just coming from a servant's heart, a servant leadership style. This is hard. This one takes work. This one takes effort. This one takes an intention to over time to be able to really develop this leadership style. Now, if you go back through all 4, we've all been there. And there's probably throughout this week, this month, maybe even today, we might tap into each of those different styles. What I want you to really pay attention to and focus on is, where do you live most of the time? Where do you live most of the time? And hopefully we live in 3 and 4 most of the time. Okay. There's times to get in and barter, and there's times to be a little selfish. But where do we live? Where do we spend the majority of our time?